guys, I did a shorter video that was previously recorded live on Facebook on one of my craft groups. I want to do a condensed version because I know that not everybody has an hour and 21 minutes to watch flow painting. So I'm going to do a lot of time lapsing of me mixing paint and such. I've already put my paint in my cups. So right now I have about this much, and this size canvas is 12 by 12 inches, that is. So I have water, I have plastic cups, I have acrylic paint. Today I'm doing blues and one white. I have Elmer's Glue All, not school glue, but Glue All. You can buy this Walmart, Michael's, Target. I'm sure CVS has it, but it's not the school glue, it's the Glue All. And then for this application, I'm using treadmill belt lubricant. You can buy this off of Amazon. They have another one that's in like a clear bottle again, but with a green, black, and white label. Does the same thing. It's 100% silicone. And you need the silicone to make the cells if you're not familiar with this process yet. You can use other things other than silicone, but silicone is what's recommended. Also, I'm on vacation right now, so I don't have the supplies that I use at home. At home I use, I've been using anyway, an aerosol silicone. I went to Advanced Auto Parts with my boyfriend. He had to buy some car parts, and I saw that they had this silicone spray, and it was made by Liquid Wrench. It's in a red and gray labeled bottle, and it says silicone spray on it. That works just fine too to get some cells. The only issue is you have to have a squirt bottle or a cup to spray that aerosol in. I would recommend spraying it outdoors into your cup, and it collects as a liquid. And you only need like 2 or 3 drops per cup. Sometimes you can do more. I mean, if you want to do more, you're more than welcome to. I can't tell you what to do. I'm just giving suggestions for what has worked for me. I'm very new to this. I'm not a professional by any means, but that's what's worked for me. This is also giving me beautiful cells too. Also, I have Liquitex pouring medium. It acts, it's supposed to act as a paint thinner, I suppose, to make it a little more watery, because the way the acrylic paint comes out of the thing, it's very thick. See that? But when you water it down, or if you thin it a little bit, it becomes easier to pour, and once you have it on your canvas, whether you're doing the flip cup, where you have the cup like this and you flip it and then you pick it up, that really needs extra space and fluidity, I guess, to be able to move around the canvas properly. Or if you're doing the pour method, it's a little bit easier, but you still want it to be fairly thin. Not water thin, but not paint thick. So I have the Liquitex. I use the water and the Liquitex for that. For that reason. I have this Apple Barrel acrylic paint. I'm starting to lose my mind now. You can go to Walmart. You can buy this size bottle for 50 cents a piece. You can buy bigger bottles for like $2.50. I would recommend, white is a very common color and it gets used the most. I recommend getting a bigger bottle of the white, just so you don't have to keep buying little bottles or going back and forth to the store often just for white paint. So 50 cents at Walmart. You don't need expensive paint for this at all. And this is, again, the Apple Barrel brand. And I'm sorry that it's not zooming in or focusing. There we go. Also, thick popsicle sticks help very well with mixing it thoroughly, because when you do your paint, you're going to add your glue, you're going to mix it up and stir it up really nicely, then you're going to add in your Liquitex, or if you're using Flow All, I think it's called, that's where you mix it in really thoroughly again, and then water you pour into the paint if it needs to be thinned at all. And then you do like 2 or 3 drops of silicone. When you're mixing your silicone, you only want to do like 3 little stir arounds, just a couple. You don't want to thoroughly mix in the silicone because that makes the cells a lot smaller. You want your cells to be big, but it is nice to have small cells too. So when I get home and I start doing more of these paintings, I'm probably going to use this silicone, but I also plan to use my aerosol silicone as well because that one tended to give me smaller cells. So I want to kind of have a nice mixture, so I'll probably combine the two. Let's get started. Okay, so I have all of my paints mixed with the silicone, my Liquitex, and my glue. I have about that much, and when you're mixing the silicone, you really don't want to mix it too much because you're not going to get huge cells. So anyway, when you're pouring, you only pour a little of each color in layers. So I'm just going to go ahead and start with this blue for no reason in particular. Do some white, and then it's good to pour up high just so that they can get a nice mix in there. And then I'm going to go to teal, turquoise.
You think of Vlad, you think of Air Buddy when you see him. There's no, and then, I'm sure Max would be just as protected if
My dark blue. And do another white, just a little at a time. I apologize for the background noise, by the way. My whole family's here, so forgive me. So back to the blue. I'll do a little white.
Yeah, especially with this small.
Just a little. Turquoise. Dark blue. White.
He's afraid of the most silly thing.
I know.
Blue.
He'll back himself down.
Turquoise. I'll do the dark blue.
Where should it go next?
White.
Give me the other one, I'll throw both of them.
And if it drips onto your canvas like that one did, it's no big deal. The paint is just going to cover it right back up. It's like it never happened. Which is why I'm okay with pouring while I'm over top of the canvas.
Jack, you see the gift card you guys got me? Oh. Put it in on his impact.
Oh, yeah.
So it'll take the box off of the semi-truck.
Oh, yeah.
You still want
I've always wanted one, and I had, it just, with the getting the miter saw was a really big tool I wanted to have in my collection. Next for size, obviously I'd like to do a table saw and a joiner and planer, but that's when I have more room.
Yeah, if you're subject to being transferred, it's kind of hard to, like when I was in the military, I never considered getting into that stuff, but once we settled down, I
Alright, it looks like that's the rest of my turquoise. I'm just gonna pull out as much of that as I can so that it doesn't go to waste.
There was, with the compound.
I'll do the rest of the dark blue.
And with my table saw, there was nothing I couldn't do.
Yeah, you can rip that.
I could, and, the radio arm was a little more dangerous, but mainly that it didn't do anything special. I couldn't do something else. I finally got rid of that.
He was telling us a story about his radio alarm saw. He said that, because he built, whenever they bought their house, he built a whole, before he started his company, he was rebuilding the house himself. And so he was building the kitchen, he spent all his time he wasn't working in the steel mill to be rebuilding the house. So he built all the cabinets.
Do the rest of the white.
And he said he remembered, he was telling us about a story about his radio alarm saw and his, he was supposed to get ready for dinner, and so he was down in the garage and he was supposedly starting the car and getting it ready. And he just had a couple more boards he needed to bring to so he was running the radio.
Alright, and then this is the rest of the first blue that I started out with.
He said he was pushing the last board through and caught.
If you would like to know the colors, I'll tell you really quick before I pour. I think this one I'm going to pour it and not do a flip cup.
And I guess my uncle Billy was
Flip cup is fun,
watching them mess around and they
but I really want to get all these colors showing nicely, so I'm going to go ahead and do a pour. You tend to see more of your colors, if not all of them, when you pour it, as opposed to doing the flip cup. Flip cup, you never know which colors are going to show up and which aren't. So, the colors that I did, they're all Apple Barrel brand. I did Bimini Blue,
With my table saw, the first thing I did was.
Bright Blue,
It was just in the way.
just matte white,
They had to put it on there, but it just.
and
You know, for everything else.
two blue. These are matte, quick drying paints, 50 cents at Walmart. So, if you're counting, that's $2. I bought a pack of canvas, 8 of them, 12 by 12, for like, I think it was $11 or something. It was no big deal. And then Walmart sells them too. Very, very cheap at Walmart. I don't remember how much this was. Your glue is fairly cheap. Everything is fairly cheap. This is like $11 on Amazon. Your plastic cups, your tongue depressors, you can buy these in bulk too. On Amazon or at Michael's or Target or whatever. Wherever you can get it from. Like, this isn't a very expensive hobby. It's just really fun. So we're gonna go ahead and pour. Alright, so here goes the pour.
14. I love this right here. Dustin Johnson with driver trying to knock it on the green here at 14. Oh, no. And there it is. From the right. Ooh. That's 2 days in a row. He's getting away with it. Four swing at 14. He hit it right there yesterday and got away with it. He's just fun in that bunker. Ahead, Chris Stroud. This is for his 7th birdie of the day. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna get as much of that as possible.
This is for Eagle. Pat Perez, chance to take the lead here at the 18th hole. He hit it.
I don't really want to lose too much paint in the beginning. I'm okay with losing it in the end, but I just want to make sure that I get it over all of my corners and edges. It helps if you guide it over your edges or drop it. Ooh, I really like this white in the corner. Unfortunately, I'm probably going to lose most of that. it is very easy to go ahead and just. All right, so good call. Thanks, Dad. It's a family affair this weekend. You want to get as much off as possible so that it dries properly. You don't want it to crack or weigh down the canvas. So we have my dad's creme brulee torch. You can use a heat gun, a hair dryer. I wouldn't do the hair dryer for more than a couple seconds because you want the paint to naturally dry so that it doesn't crack or anything. But you can even blow on it and see if you want to bring that in a little bit. It pops up these little white cells. It's just popping air bubbles, but I'm going to use the blowtorch.
Carefully.
Yeah, carefully, of course. It's still a lot of fun though. And the blowtorch, the heat in it burns off the extra silicone and it creates all these cells. It brings them out and the cells are basically the other colors from underneath popping through, and it becomes very beautiful. There's always a lot of stuff going on in them. It's a very busy piece of artwork. If I can do this left-handed,
Hold it down while you.
I tried. I'm not that skilled. There we go. I can see some cells wanting to pop up, but aren't yet.